G'day, gang. I wanted to talk today about a topic that is particularly near and dear to my heart. So, I was playing in a Marvel Rivals lobby a while back, and I was actually having a great day. I was on a pretty heavy win streak, crushing it, and started out by saying hello to my team, and immediately get the response, "Are you AI?" You know, not surprising given that I sound quite calm, um, kind of monotone. And I respond by saying, "Your mum's AI." And I got a warning from Marvel Rivals. I want to talk about gaming toxicity. I haven't gone back to Rivals. It's obviously not a place for me. If that's if that's what I get in trouble for, hmm, probably shouldn't be on the game. Right. Ooh. Gaming used to be a very hostile environment where you had to have a pretty thick skin. And these days, sometimes it's changed, sometimes it's not changed, depending on the game. Very, very game dependent, obviously, but typically FPS games are pretty intense for that, competitive games in general. Um, but I think we have this back and forth in gaming that's really fun. And being able to just kind of have it as a free space for being able to talk in a manner in which that is usually not appropriate, I think, has been something that I would always want to safeguard, because I think that there should be a space in which that we can just say what we feel about each other. Like we can say, "Yo, DPS, don't play DPS." I mean, obviously I'm referencing tame things because I don't make personal attacks against people, but I feel like people shouldn't necessarily be restricted about doing weird stuff, and I think we shouldn't be bubble wrapping people and saying, well, then this is not a space for you. I think we should be working at getting thicker skin. I think being able to go back to being able to banter with each other and be stupid and make dumb comments. Like I'm not against joining some sort of lobby and saying hello team and having them say get back into the kitchen, because then I get to say really really fun responses like, why do you hate your mother? Like and and then we have this horrible discourse that honestly I'm about it. I'm about it. Like why can't we say things like that to each other? Why has it become to a point that people immediately get in their feelings the moment that you say stuff? I think it's really complicated, um, because I do think that gaming should be a space for everyone, but I think everyone should be working on trying to make themselves able to handle more things. I don't think we should be going in the reverse of making it so that the small interactions that we have become uncomfortable. And I think we should consistently remind ourselves that these are complete strangers that have no bearing over us, and we shouldn't let these people's responses affect us, regardless of how unhinged the things that people say. Because ultimately, it's words. It comes down to the fact that it is words. And I think it's really important that we don't let words control us, and we don't let other people hurt us. And we do have in gaming an incredible amount of power. If someone says something particularly unhinged to me, I can open up the UI, hit the little speaker button, and never hear from this human ever again. And I think that this is something that people consistently forget. I'll be in a lobby with someone. Someone will have started a personal attack, said something really inappropriate about me as a human, my sex, something like that. Happens consistently, and for me, that's when the game begins. But for them, that's when the game definitely ends. So this back and forth will happen. This person will get very upset. They will get more upset, and they won't mute me. They have full power to stop the situation, to get rid of this pain in the neck that they keep saying, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up to, who won't shut up, obviously. And they don't mute me. I think Toxicity in gaming is really as toxic as other people make it. Because if you're not engaged in it, it ends. If you mute them, it ends. It's I think the best space in which that we can actually push our own thresholds and comfort. And I often hear from people when playing video games, like I'll say, join voice, don't be scared, jump in here. And I don't ever, I'll never start toxicity, but I will always end it. So when someone comes in and they want to just talk, I'm here for it. I'm here to have a really nice exchange, really nice conversation, and just talk about people and whatever they want to talk. People often talk about their life, who they are in the span of a very short lobby. And I think that is one of the coolest things about gaming, is that you can connect with complete strangers, interact with complete strangers. And I always say, join voice, come on in. And I often get the response of, I'm shy, or I'm trans and I don't like my voice. I actually hear that one a lot. And for me, I think that is the best space to practice a voice with complete strangers you'll never see again, that have no investment in you, being able to practice vocal control in a controlled space. And again, you can just mute them. If someone says something toxic, mute them, move on with your day. And it's disappointing that we don't get so much back and forth. I think since I was little, there was this thing where people think that free speech works one way, that someone can say something to you and that's it, end of conversation. But they forget that there's this expectation that you get to talk back. It's an exchange, it's a conversation. And I think that's what's lacking so much in the way in which that we see in gaming and gaming spaces, is that people forget that they have the complete authority to respond, to mute you. We have so much authority in vocal spaces in gaming. And I think that we need to utilize those tools more. And we need to be able to say things to other people and see, sometimes they laugh. And if they don't, and we intended it as humor, apologize, move on. If you can't make up for it, stop the conversation. But we should be able to have this sort of banter. I think this sort of banter is really, really important. And I think it's one of the coolest things that we have about gaming. And I know that a lot of people immediately go to call it toxicity, but I don't necessarily agree. I think that viewing it that way degrades it. And I think that the banter that we can otherwise have, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. Again, this is a space in which that you can have to fully express yourself in ways that other people don't. And again, I don't go for physical characteristics of what someone sounds like. So I won't make insults about someone's, if they're younger, if they're a woman, if they're a man. I don't go to those places, but I don't care if someone goes to those places with me. And I have heard some of the most unhinged things in gaming. But again, that's part of the fun. That's part of the surprise. And I think, honestly, it's part of the space. And it's something that people keep talking about as something to get rid of in gaming. And I don't agree. I genuinely don't agree. Even though I am a recipient of a particularly heavy amount of unhinged and inappropriate comments. I think trying to see it as part of the fun completely redefines it and completely makes you take control of the situation. And yeah, it starts out, it's very difficult to see that as something that's fun for most people, because most people don't enjoy insults. But I think it's a space in which that you can use to get really good at getting more accustomed and more comfortable with discomfort. And I think that is something that I want to make another video on, and talking about how we gravitate towards comfort to the extent that we exclude a lot of things from our life that we shouldn't. I think that we shouldn't be seeking comfort only. I think comfort is very important. I think that being inside of our comfort zone is something that everybody needs to be able to have access to. But I don't think it should be the space in which that we exclusively live. I think that my monitor's turned off, jump scared me again. I think that we should. I should expect this. I don't understand why this is something that's new and has happened to in almost all of my videos so far. But I think that becoming comfortable with discomfort is really important. Becoming accustomed to how we can respond to something that someone says that we don't like is really important to stay calm and talk to people instead of being problematic about it. And every time someone tells me to shut up, swears at me, insults me, it just empowers me to make me more loud, more obnoxious, and more problematic for them. Because I don't respond to being told what to do in a gaming lobby. And I don't think anyone should. I think if someone tells you to shut up, everyone should become louder. But, I mean, personal opinion. I think everyone is definitely entitled to theirs, and I would really particularly like, I'd like to hear people's thoughts on this one, because I think toxicity in gaming gets a really bad rap. I really think that it should be part of the fun. I think that's for me, it's the best part of gaming. But yeah, tell me what you think in the comments. I'm very interested, really interested in this topic in particular. And if people want to talk about it more, I definitely want to talk about this topic in particular more. But thanks for listening to my rant. As I say, I don't shut up. Bye.